What it do? Dream Team, it's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with why are young Americans embracing socialism? I'm intrigued to hear this one. I feel like because they're starting to figure out that the system we're under now, mainly capitalism, just isn't working. But before we jump into this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media and Patreon, all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Human, I talk back. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon, or in the description section there's a Google form link. Where we go?
It's safe to say that socialism is having a moment in American politics right now. And that's freaking a lot of people out. So we sent our newest correspondent, Jabuki Young White, to find out why.
For years, grumpy old white dudes have been telling us that socialism is total bullshit.
Socialism leads to decline and ruin.
This system crushes human souls.
But as the Daily Show's new
Crushes human souls. But socialism is terrible.
Crushes human souls.
Disgusting.
But as the Daily Show's new senior youth correspondent, I know that millennials right now think socialism is totally on trend. I popped Somali and hit the street to find out why, even though the olds hate it, the kids love socialism.
I think socialism is great. I think you should definitely help whoever you could at any situation.
I with socialism just because I with anything that's helping black people out.
Okay, so you're socialism curious.
Yeah, well, I'm in college.
Right.
Do you hate billionaires?
Low key, yeah. You look at Jeff Bezos, he doesn't look human.
I mean, I think the idea of socialism is on point. I mean, I don't really know what socialism means, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, it's okay. We're all confused.
To me, I feel like it's just basically being willing to help out your neighbors. Basically being willing to help out others. To me, is kind of what socialism is us all saying, like, we're putting people over profits and we're all going to help each other is basically, I guess, in a nutshell. For me, that's what it is. Where capitalism, I don't know, it just seems like I'm out for myself to make it. And I understand that mentality. I feel like I had that mentality for a long time where I'm out for myself and I want to make as much as like humanly possible, and I did this, so there's no excuse that other people can't do this, and why should I help other people? Like, I did this by myself, so why should I go and help other people? Like, they can get off their butts and work hard too and get to my position. And I feel like that's the kind of mindset like capitalism gives us. Whereas I do feel like I said, socialism is more of a like, well, like, I made it up here. Let me help those who are less fortunate, who haven't made it here. If that makes sense to me. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that's what I
Point. I mean, I don't really know what socialism means, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, it's okay. We're all confused. If there were only someone we could talk to, someone with some deep experience on the subject.
When I started doing this sort of piece on socialism, I knew that there was really only one politician who I could talk to about it. So I guess my question is, do you know AOC?
Sure.
And what's her availability like?
My boy Bernie. Shout out to Bernie.
So I guess my question is, do you know AOC?
Sure.
And what's her availability like? If you could put us in touch, maybe.
But you want to speak to her?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, well, I just figured, you know.
Seriously, you can't talk socialism in America without going to the OG, Senator Bernie Sanders.
I believe in a society where all people do well, not just a handful of billionaires.
Could he be the oldest millennial in America?
You know that capitalism has given us a bunch of really dope things, right? iPhones, cars, hamburgers, the Avengers movies, the opioid crisis. So why are young people like myself very open to socialism?
Your generation, the younger generation, will in all likelihood have a lower standard of living than your parents. Your generation is leaving school more deeply in debt, having a much harder time finding affordable housing. The jobs that you get will pay less. So the idea of creating a society with more egalitarianism, I think, is very appealing to young people.
Okay. Yeah, I feel the burn. I see what you're talking about now.
I admit it. Democratic
It's
social.
facts. It is financially. It's definitely getting harder on the younger generation. I mean, prices are going up, but pay isn't going up. So it's like You like every time I resign my lease, rent goes up every single time. Like rent is shooting up, and it's like, bro, like this the same place. Why am I paying more every single time? But I mean, food going everything's going up, and it's like except for the pay. So you see, I definitely agree with them. You see why younger people are more open to socialism because they're living in a world right now where they're struggling. And so it's like, well, like, we got to do something to change it. Let's try something else.
I see what you're talking about now.
I admit it, democratic socialism looks pretty fine on his Tinder profile. But are we gonna vibe when we meet IRL?
If you go to countries like Denmark or Sweden, you're going to see very little poverty. You could leave your job. You could start a new business. You and your family still have health care as a right.
So I could quit The Daily Show and be fine?
Absolutely.
Well, it was great meeting with you.
So under President Bernie, we'd be more European, like Denmark or Narnia. But try telling that to the haters.
It's a terrible system. It's never worked. And in order for it to work at all, you got to kill several million people to make it work.
Carol Markowitz has written on why socialism...
It works in other places, though, so how?
Million people to make it work.
Carol Markowitz has written on why socialism needs to be canceled forever, period.
Millennials have been raised in such prosperous times. They just think that, oh, we can make it even better with this insane plan to share the resources.
You know, I would love capitalism if it just weren't for all the sick people and all the poor people who can't afford health care. Is there a way for me to enjoy capitalism without those things?
If the solution is socialism, it's going to make us all equal in our poverty.
But if everyone is poor, isn't that kind of cool? Because we're all experiencing the same things. It'll be like, hey, like the bread line was extra long today. And I'd be like, oh my God, yeah, it was. That guy's super observant and like funny.
Not so much, no. I was born in the Soviet Union. My great-grandfather was killed in a gulag because he owned a business and socialists decided that was no longer legal.
That's truly horrific.
That is absolutely terrible. I don't think it'd be anything like that, but she just went to the most extreme of extremes, I feel like. That's wild. They didn't even give him a chance to... I would have just said, I don't want the business no more. Like, business, I no longer own a business. Give me a chance. That's crazy. But, I'll keep it rolling.
Decided that was no longer legal.
That's truly horrific. Would Bernie be sending small business owners to forced labor camps?
Obviously, Soviet Union was an authoritarian society with no democratic rights. And I think if you know history, you'll know that democratic socialists stood up and fought against that. You can look about what existed in the Soviet Union or in Venezuela. That is not what I'm talking about at all.
So no one's going to the gulag?
Well, except no.
Fact check. The examples of failed socialism that critics use are not socialist democracies, but authoritarian states led by corrupt, ruthless, and paranoid dictators. But I do have one real problem.
Hey. We like Daenerys Targaryen. Don't put Daenerys up there. Don't put Daenerys up there with those guys. We rock with Daenerys. She just had one moment of evil. And that's all though. That we still love her. She
led by corrupt, ruthless, and paranoid dictators. But I do have one real problem with socialism. I like money.
You know, TV's going kind of good for me.
That is the only. I do agree with him on that. I do like money, but if it comes at the cost of others having to if it comes at the cost of being able to help others, then I'd rather it the other way around. You feel me? But I do like money.
Real problem with socialism. I like money.
You know, TV's going kind of good for me right now, and I'm thinking of writing a successful book. Is socialism still for me if I'm a millennial millionaire?
I mean, it depends on what's your heart. If what you say in your life is all I want to do is make as much money as I possibly can and screw everything else, I don't give a damn. Yeah, no, I don't think democratic socialism is your cup of tea. But if you have a decent heart and you say, look, I'm doing really well, but you know what? I also want to be a contributor to the well-being of society. So I'm going to pay my fair share of taxes.
Wow. I could have...
Didn't I basically broke it down the same way earlier, right? So I basically did understand socialism. You feel me? Because I basically just broke it down the exact way Bernie broke it down just now. So I just give myself a pat on the back for that. You know, I've been learning.
To the well-being of society. So I'm going to pay my fair share of taxes.
Wow. I could have my CBD-infused gluten-free cake and eat it too. I'm liking the socialism thing more and more. And Bernie made me feel so good, I decided to share something.
I brought you a present.
That's cool.
So.
All right, anticipating. Oh, that's beautiful.
I think you made it myself. When you are elected president, where do you think you're going to put this in the White House?
I live someplace. I don't know the exact room, but it's beautiful, and I thank you for it.
You're welcome.
I like that.
Enjoy.
I like that.
Jabuki Young White, everyone.
That was good, bro. I absolutely love that. That's all we got for this one. If you guys got a favorite video you want to see me react to, you can subscribe to Patreon, or in the description section there's a Google form link. Hit the link, fill out your suggestions, send it to me. Want me to get to yours faster, fill out premium. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you got to do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy D Neal, out.